Hi.
I love that.
You like it? It's part of the hippie dippy trick that I have.
It totally just like calmed me down right now.
That's the idea. Like you just set up for a relaxing time because normally my morning shows are healing. So I talk about like mindfulness and spirituality, the
Yeah,
hippie dippy stuff like tarot readings and things like that, candles. So the idea is for people to be relaxing and
yeah. That
so
is so
yeah,
cool.
good. So how you been? Nice to see you finally in person.
I know. Yeah. Do you hear echo with me or no?
No.
Okay. Okay, good. I wonder.
Is my audio okay?
No, I hear an echo for myself for some reason, but it's probably because I was messing with the call-in show yesterday. I have so
Okay.
many things changed, but as long as everyone else is good and you're good, then I'm good.
Yeah, no, that's why I put my headphones on because I hate to listen to myself. I had it. I started hearing double because I had the YouTube playing,
Mhm.
and then I was like a delay. I'm like, what's going on? It was I didn't mute my own stream. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
yours so you get the views also. But yeah. So
So,
it's
yeah, I seen the first time I seen you was with um hi honey.
hi.
That's Ximena. Say hi.
Hi, Mana.
Hi, how are you?
She said that
Nice to
so
meet you.
good. Yeah. See, now you
Yeah.
speak Spanish.
Now
I've
you
been
speak
teaching her a
Spanish.
little bit of Spanish. Yeah.
I don't
Cool.
know. I don't know it well, Lee.
Yeah.
You
But
have to
she's
practice
trying.
them.
And I said the F word in Spanish.
You did?
Remember when I was in the truck?
Oh no,
Wow.
I just said that was the F word.
You're a weirdo sometimes.
I know. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay. Just go watch YouTube for a little bit.
Why?
Just because it's important, okay?
Uh-uh.
I'll call you here in a minute. Okay? Please? We're just now starting. Yes, please. Seriously.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. I have a daughter
No,
pretty
I
much the
know it's
same age, so she's gonna be doing the same in a minute. So don't worry.
yeah, and I caught it. You guys were talking, of course, about Tommy um and Reese and ooh, there was a third person on the show and I can't remember who it was. But you were and I had said this you were like just so like speaking about it with no hate, no anger. You were, you know what I mean? You were just talking about it completely calmly, but stating the facts. And I was just like, oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And it was just before um I like fired Tommy from my show.
Yeah, I think when we did that, we were getting a lot of hate everywhere. Like I was still, well, not anymore, but at the beginning, I was receiving even death threats and things like that. People were very nasty. They were sending a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things, and what they were requesting us to explain what happened, why we left. So that's why we decided to talk about it. So
Yeah.
it was John and I who decided to do a show and just explain what happened. And I don't have hate for them. I wish they could just heal and just write their
Yeah.
path.
Yeah.
I think uh, forgiveness is for one self and not for the other person. So it's like I wish them well, I wish they heal, but
Mhm.
it's yeah, I don't like to hate that. It hurts me a lot. So I've been
Mhm.
working on on my own mental health and stability too much
Same.
to jeopardize it with someone else or someone else's bad energy. And I believe in
Yeah.
karma.
Yeah.
So the truth is on my side. So I know what happened. So whether people
That's
believe it or
right.
not, I don't
That's right.
care. I know the truth and what happened, and that's like I don't have anything to fear. I don't have anything to hide. So whatever. And I
Yep.
think
That's
that explaining what happened was releasing for us at least, or healing, because we were able
mhm.
to like answer all the questions that people had. Then we
Mhm.
could move on, and that's what I did. I've never talked about them again. Like I don't dwell on that too much. I
Yeah.
continued
Yeah.
my journey. Yeah.
Yep. Same. Same. Yep. Yep.
For me, it came as a surprise when you left like that because I was really surprised.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. It was crazy. The whole
I can
thing. Like
imagine.
I was getting so much information, but like I want to I wanted to be loyal to my friend,
Of
but I
course.
was getting all this information, and then I made it was like on a Saturday, I won't forget. I made a video of just a little animated me, and I said like, look, I have the right um to um to investigate this more on my own and find out things for myself, and and no one should expect, especially Tommy, that I would just have blind loyalty when there's so much smoke. And then the very next couple days after the very next show was when I was just like, done, man. There's just, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard, and I think for us, for me, it was like opening my eyes because I really truly wanted her to have help, and I was very involved with, not so much with Tommy, but I was very like I considered him my friend, Spance, Tommy's
Hmm.
son. So I was like I was really fond of him, and he was very a good friend to
I've
me, and he was there
I've
for
heard that from
me.
a lot of people. Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
he was there for me when I needed a lot of help because I was going through a horrible situation in my personal life, and he was the one who helped me and listened to me and was like there. So for me, they really helped me in some ways. So for me, it was difficult to reconcile the what I was seeing and what I was feeling for them because you I did have a personal relationship with him. It's not just a YouTube chat. I did
Yeah.
message them. We did have conversations. We talked on the phone. Like so, not so much with Spence, but with Reese. So it was very difficult to like separate that from what I was seeing, and I was like not feeling good because I like the truth, and then you start seeing inconsistencies, and then you start listening to things. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna investigate this, and then I start finding things. Now I was
Hmm.
shocked. I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I'm not going to speak about this anymore. I'm just going to leave. That's what I tried to do. Then everything exploded. So,
Yeah.
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 And I didn't want to respond hate with hate. I don't like. I think violence encourages more violence. And I like if you trash someone, you're gonna get that back. So that's why I spoke with facts because you can't argue the facts. One thing is I
That's
can
right.
say I don't like you. Okay, that's different. That's a personal opinion, but the fact it's the truth, and that stays
Hmm.
the same regardless what's going on around it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
think that's why
That's
I yeah.
yeah. Yep. I'm almost the same situation, but on the other side. Um, but yeah, anyway, it's crazy.
Yeah, but
So
I think there were good things that I can take from that. I think I met great people, and I'm great making great friends from those connections. So I think
oh
overall, it's
man.
not or everything. It's like I met great friends that right now are still with me, and we still collaborate and have fun. And for example, Jen Marie, Cosmic, Mac, I met them there, so they become very good friends of mine. So we are very close, and I wouldn't have met them without them. So it's like, okay, I'm thankful for what I got, the positives, and I don't dwell
Oh
on the negatives.
yeah, there's so many positives that I mean, I have an entire community that I've like basically
Yeah,
received from them, and And they've seen me. They've seen me laugh, cry, um, go through marital stuff. Just like recently, and everyone is super supportive.
Yeah.
I was trying to imagine yesterday if I hadn't had that, what where would I've received that support during these, trials and tribulations that I'm going through? Where would I
Yeah.
have received that? And I I couldn't say. I couldn't, I have my therapist, of course,
Mhm.
um but I needed more, especially recently. Um
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I would be divorced right now or broken up from with my wife. But the other night I had like this I did a live, and we were just talking, and my wife was in the chat, and somehow we weren't really talking, but she was in the chat. We were we couldn't have a civil conversation. We are Both of us were just responding poorly to each other, and somehow we processed the things through YouTube on my live, and it was crazy. And I was like, kind of just like, no, this is too much. This is, we shouldn't be talking about this here. But it's just the way the show ended up happening, and it was very organic, and it was comfortable.
Hmm.
Um, and that that night we had a breakthrough, and now we're on the road to healing, with each other,
That's wonderful.
because of that show, and because of the community, because of the things, of the feedback they were giving us. And it was crazy. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, like, my community, a lot of people come from there. Like, I got a lot of subscribers from that, but I've been like going to other places, so now it's more diverse. It's not just that part of the community,
Oh yeah.
and so they don't understand my background from that. But we've started to build together a really wonderful place where people can come and say, I'm feeling horrible, and people just show support. And sometimes there are people like me, for example, I don't where I live, I don't have many friends, like friends in real life, because I
Hmm.
work from home. I relocated from my original city, and it's not that I can get out much, so I don't have a lot of people to interact with here. And the communities that we were having here, for me, it was helpful because I was able to share and get some feedback, like you say, and get interaction with people that literally saved my life in difficult situations. They were supportive, they were there for me, they showed me a lot of things. Like, I'm friends with some of them on Facebook, and when I was going through a meltdown a couple of months ago or a month ago or something, all of them,
Hmm.
they just poured their love to me in ways, like
Yeah.
really beautiful messages. And it's just, okay, there's really beautiful people out there who are worth listening to and being there for, and providing a community for them so they can come and just vent and talk, or maybe have fun,
Yeah.
because sometimes we have just fun and we just laugh. That's healing
Yeah.
too. So I think that's very nice. I think it's different, and not everyone understand it. My mom, she's like, why are you saying like all these people, you don't even know them? Like, well, but they share a lot of things there. It's like they're very good people, and there's a place where we can connect and have fun, and it's nice.
I
So yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I could just hear my abuelita right now just saying, "Mijo, who are these people?" You know, she
Yeah.
would just be like blown away. Um, yeah, I wish she was still alive for me to like share this with her. She'd be blown away. She would be. And yeah, and I'm not really that close with my mom. My grandmother's daughter, who happens to be my mom. I mean, we're cordial, and but when my life kind of fell apart and I ended up going to prison,
Mhm.
my mom kind of fell off, and she's really I mean, like, she wrote me letters and would say, I love you so much. I just don't like, what you did. And, you hurt so many people, by, giving them drugs, and, and, and I understood that, but she never like forgave me. Not that I need her forgiveness, but the words that she says, it's always like I love you, but, and so I'm not feeling that same love that I used to feel from her when I was younger. Um, why did I even bring her, her up? I can't remember. Well,
Well, you
anyways,
needed
but
to say it.
yeah, I needed to say it. I haven't
Yeah.
talked about her in a really long time, so it's weird. And I'm feeling, I'm not emotional, but I'm kind of yearning to fix that relationship. And because we're both getting old, I'm almost 60. That blows me away.
I can't
And
believe that you don't look 60 at all.
yeah, I'm almost 60, man. It's so
Wow.
nuts. Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't
I
know what I'm
think
gonna do.
those things tend to like find their way, and like it's just let things go, maybe reach out, do things like, but I think
Mhm.
you need to start with yourself and maybe accept, well, in my case, I don't have a good relationship with my parents, like a very good one. My dad is dying right now. He has like a kind of leukemia, and he got bladder cancer, so he's not doing well, so he's like, and
Might be.
i've
Yeah.
i've tried to let go of the expectations that I had for the way that I want them to love me, and just accept the way they are loving me is the way
Yeah.
they know how to. And getting to that realization helped me heal myself, and then I'm being able to interact with them from another place that it's not hurtful for me,
Yeah.
and accept them for what they are and forgive them for what they had, because they don't have the tools at the moment to love me the way that I needed to be loved, maybe. So that
Mhm.
helped me understand a lot of things. But I've worked a lot with that, and it still affects me. When I heard my dad's news, I was breaking down. I'm like, oh my God, like it's all the grief that I've experienced, like the relationship we never had that I wish I had. And now that I went to see him, he actually told me, "I'm proud of you." And I'm like, "Okay, this is the first time." I
Yeah.
really, it was super surprising for me at my 43 years old, like hearing that from him, which he never
Yeah.
expresses anything. But it took us a long way to get there, and he's like very not doing well, so it's been hard. So I hope you
Yeah.
can at least have a conversation with her, so you can just
Yeah, we'll try. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna try to do something. I always want to say, like, I'm just gonna like text her the link to my show, but my show is so um it's not negative or anything, but I don't want her to know too much personal stuff about me. So I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe she watches. You've been
She might.
surprised.
Oh,
My mom watched my show and she was like, "Oh, so I'm so toxic." I'm like, "Oh,
yeah, yeah. Listen, one time, this lady Karen something, she mentioned something. She said something on my in the chat, and I said, and I remember her being in my feed, and it was my aunt, my
oh
from
wow."
my my uncle Ernesto, his wife, and I was like, but she remarried and has a different last name. I don't know what it is, but I remember it coming on my Facebook feed, that last name with Karen. And I said, "Hey, is this my Aunt Karen?" And she hasn't been back to the show since.
Oh wow. Well,
So
maybe she lurks. Like she's a lurker.
I
You
mean,
never know.
I bet you she is. Yeah. The
Yeah.
I just now learned what lurking and lurkers what was like just in the past couple weeks.
I was a lurker at the beginning, so I knew what it was, because to all the lurkers out there, and I had to find the meaning of that. I'm like, okay, I'm lurking. And then I
Yeah.
started interacting, and when I started interacting, I started meeting people, and I was like, oh, this is a different world. This is nice.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
was very fond of just messaging. Let me say hi to the chat, by the way, because we
Oh
didn't
yeah,
say hi.
absolutely. Yeah, go for it.
We Tommy Sticks was here, Jeanette. I don't know if you've seen our shows together. Um,
Gen X,
he's
I haven't.
wonderful. We do a show together called The Experiment every Wednesday and Saturday, and we have a lot of fun. You'll see me laughing all the time. That's the show. I'm
Oh, I
really
have caught a Saturday one. Yep, I
okay.
have caught a
Yeah,
Saturday. Okay.
really fun. We have a lot of fun. We Chris the Flash was here. Karma, Ladies of I Talk. They're wonderful. Also, they have a wonderful show. Very fun. Indigo
Yeah,
Twin, thank you. Cosmic, Net and Coco. I don't do
love them.
the roll call. I'm just trying to acknowledge everyone here.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Please, and Ferguson, nice to
Hey,
see you.
babe. Yeah.
I don't. I These are from your chat. We have a lot of
I'm a
people from your
fan.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shangy girl, hi. Nice to see you. She's amazing. It's about me, Jean Marie. If I miss anyone, sorry guys. There's a lot of people. I'm not used to that many people in my chat. My chat's normally mostly 20 people, which is good because it's manageable. So when it gets a little bit higher, it's not as manageable for me at least. So we have Shale W. Indigo sent
Joe.
you a message. Kim Roy, she's fantastic, super fun. Um, we have Rudy, Gino. Sorry if my pronunciation. Um, Thank you guys for the wonderful comments. Okay, question. We have a question. What does moving forward mean to you? Like, how do you do it with such grace, Ximena? Moving forward, just leaving all the negativity behind me and try not to hold into grudges, letting go. I think that's important for me, at least in my life, Cosmic.
Yeah.
Letting
Yeah.
go of the things that hurt me and try to learn from what I've experienced and don't repeat the toxicity if I experience toxicity or if I made a mistake and just try to continue with the lessons. And that's what I do. What do you think, Sam?
I definitely less like lessons. I'm all about like, okay, what was my part in all of anything that happened? I try to look at that. I know this sounds kind of clinical and cliche, but I try to see what my part was in it, what I could have done better, and what can I learn moving forward. And then, I mean, just the end of the sentence, right? What can I do, and what can I learn just moving forward? So, yeah.
Yeah.
But always, man, I just when I started like, okay, what's my part in it? And I can't remember who told me to do that. I think it was a pastor. It wasn't even like something in treatment or like a counselor or a therapist. I think it was a pastor or a PO or some, like my probation
Mhm.
officer said, someone just said, like, okay, what's your part in this? And I'm just like, and once I did, I had like this new look on the situation. I was like, God, I'm 56 and I'm just now, this was like a year ago, I'm like, I'm just now figuring this out, you know? like, see, I wish I'd have known that, 40 years ago, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, 40 years ago you didn't have the tools, then you wouldn't be here now if you had the tools then.
No, that's
So you'd
right.
be a
Yeah.
different
I've been
person.
exactly where I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's
That's
at least something also that I learned that divine timing, like I don't judge myself for my past mistakes because I didn't know better then. So now I know better. I wouldn't do the same mistakes that I did 20 years ago,
that's right.
maybe now, but I wouldn't be the person I am if I hadn't made those mistakes. So I didn't have that lesson. So I think like I try to be compassionate with my old self at least. And that's what this journey of spirituality has taught me that I need
Hmm.
to look at myself in better eyes. I'm not always successful. I'm very hard on myself, but
Oh,
it's yeah.
same. And everyone in my community is like, give yourself some grace. You're so hard on yourself. And I think I just think out loud, and I'm not really, I'm processing things out loud, and I don't feel like I beat myself up too much, over things. But it's such a strange contrast from where I was when, like, like the middle part of my prison sentence, and that was a long time ago. But like the middle part of my prison sentence, I just wanted to feel pain. I wanted to inflict pain, and I was just mean to people for no reason. Um, and I don't even know who that person was. Like I was a better person before that, and I became a better person after that. But I guess I had to go through that. Um, it's just bizarre.
So, something that I've noticed on you is that you right your wrongs because you acknowledge that, for example, if you make a mistake, whichever it is,
Hmm.
and then okay, I made like with what happened in our communities, like ex communities, like okay,
Hmm.
you were involved in something that you were not comfortable with, and then okay, I messed up there, but then this is the right thing that it's supposed to be doing, so I'm gonna come clean and do
Yeah.
this and right my
Yeah.
wrong. And I think that's taking accountability that's basic for me in the grow like in growing and learning. So I think that's
Yeah.
admirable from you. Like that's why I thought the beginning was like, let's see what he has to say. And then when you started talking, I'm like, okay, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, he's a good guy. And that's what I think it's you're authentic in that way that you are
Mhm.
you speak your mind, you're honest and you're right your wrongs. And I think that's very admirable. Not everyone does that. So I think that's
Oh, I
something that
appreciate that.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate from your streams and all because you're very honest, you're very authentic, and I think that shows. Because
Yeah.
when it,
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't, when some creators or like people who are on YouTube, it's like there's something that it's off. And with you, I always see the same, like it's consistency, and I think that's
Well,
I
thank you.
appreciate that a
Thank
lot
you.
from you. So yeah,
Thank you
just
so much.
wanted
I appreciate
you to know that I really admire
it.
that from you. So Jen says it's so cool how we are collaborating with each other now. Um, and we are both wearing blue. You've noticed.
Muy bueno.
I'm so thankful for all the people I've met. I have made good friends and learned many lessons. Yeah. Let's see. Um, Bobo. Hi, Bobo. Let's see. Tim Roy says lots of great people in those groups. All were searching for a place to land when everything blew up. Grateful there were so many great landings. I think that's also another thing that for me it was I when I lost the boat because I it was my place for connection in the morning, and then I lost it. I'm
Oh,
like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, okay, but I have a
yeah.
channel. Maybe I can do something. I didn't like to do lives because of I don't. I was doing my channel, but I was just very nervous. I'm very shy. I don't like doing live at the beginning. I was very shy,
There,
very
it's hard to get going. Yeah.
hard. And I started doing it and I started getting comfortable. And then I lost the person who I was doing my lives with. And I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm going to continue. And then I think I got some courage and said, okay, I'm going to go there. And people are finding it a good place, like your channel. My Max channel is amazing. So there's a lot of
Hmm.
good places where you can land and connect. And I think that's beautiful. That's something beautiful that came out of all of that drama.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I'm missing any questions. Hey, Gen X. Um, she tried explaining everything to my sister a month ago. She said, we gotta move you back to the city. Mm, let's see.
I love the city.
Kathleen says, I think your grandma's love was unconditional and it really felt itself.
Oh man. It, yeah. And she always told me, she might have said this to all her grandchildren, but she always said I was her favorite niento. And, she would tell other people that, like when she introduced me to like, all the little, Mexican women in her little neighborhood. She was always wanted to like show me off. If I was doing good, bad, it didn't matter. She always wanted to show me off. And now I am going to start crying. But she was just an amazing, amazing woman. She always, um, she just loved me unconditionally.
Oh,
She's,
that's
yeah,
amazing.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful part. My grandpa was, I think it was the same for me. Every time I talk about my grandpa, I get the same way. I get very emotional. And
Yeah.
yeah. So,
It was the place where I could always go and I had a key, always, and it could be 3 in the morning, and I knew there would be like some, beans on the stove, like dried up in the pan, and I would just add a little either manteca or some water, and just get them going again, and with some tortillas. I just always knew that was there on the stove. Like I didn't, and so it was always a comfort. Like that specific thing was like whenever I would be stressed, I would just go there and just sit she had like this little 2-person table for her and her new boyfriend, and that she had. And that's a whole nother story.
mhm.
Yeah, she was 65 when they met, and he was 19, 19,
Wow.
I think. Yeah. He was from Guanajuato to
Hmm.
his name was Socorro Maldonado, and my whole family hated him like right away. I loved him because she was so happy with him, and it was funny. She would never want me to tell this story, but it was funny. When I first found out about him, I went to her house for lunch, and the door was locked, and like it was like dead bolted. I couldn't get in, and so I went around to the back, and her shower was going. And I was like, Grandma, it's me. You locked both bolts, and I seen a head drop down in the shower. And she just peeked up. She's like, "Come back later, mijo." I'm like, "Okay, see you later." I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh.
And then I came back, and Socorro was having lunch at her little table, and I was like, "What's going on here?" He was her maintenance guy. Like
Wow.
she had apartment buildings that she only rented to Raza, but she would rent to white people. She wasn't like racial about it, but it was a highly Hispanic neighborhood, and she only rented to Raza, and so he was her little maintenance guy. But yeah, and they were together till the end. Like he took such good care of her, and because she got shingles really bad, and he took care of
Mhm.
her every day, and he was a young guy still. He was in
And he
his
didn't have to do it when he chose to do that, which is
he chose to
amazing.
do it. He chose to do it, and when she passed, it was really hard on him.
I
Yeah,
can imagine. Yeah.
it was really,
But
really
I'm
hard on
glad
him.
she found love and she was cherished and loved and happy. I think
Cherished,
that's
like adored, and yeah, like so
I
cool.
think she was very fortunate to have you as a grandson.
Yeah,
Um yeah, you love her very much. It's noticeable that how much you love her.
yeah.
Yeah. Mysterious Maya, hey. Um we have Cooler by the Lake. Great haircut, they say.
Thanks.
Um
I just got it. I just got it.
Krumel, hi, miss you. Sending you love. Guys, if you can send Krumel all the love, he needs it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a great
he's going
picture.
through a rough situation. Just want him to know that we love him. Creating change. Do you know him? He has a
No, but
channel, Creating Change. He plays guitar and he has good vibes all the time. He's my guitar teacher, by the way. He's
oh,
teaching me
what?
how to play
Oh,
guitar.
yeah, I have to go. Let me write it down real quick.
I'll share the channels. He's amazing.
Yeah, please
And
do.
if you want to, and also let me put your channel there so they can go, like people who don't know you can go and watch your content. Let's see. I have someone coming in right now. Está en la cocina. Pero ciérrame la puerta, por favor, mi amor. Gracias. No, todavía no. Sorry about that. I'm going to share your channel so they can go see your
Thank
show.
you.
Yeah, because I really like it. And I also love when you cover the trials and all of that. I love it. Oh,
Oh, really?
I'm a true crime fan. Like all the
Oh,
way.
yeah. It's about to. I've decided I'm gonna just really like start focusing a lot more on true crime. And my legal channel, Legal Livewire, that was I was like I've made a couple little mini documentaries, and they take a long time to do, and I get rewarded with doing them, but it just takes a lot of time. So I think I'm gonna do like mini documentaries of like true crime that isn't doesn't make national news, but like maybe in that community is like mind-boggling. Like
Hmm.
right now in our community, and this is really sad. This guy went to pick up his kids. It was his weekend to have his three daughters, and he took them and he unalived them at a campground, and now like everybody is looking for this guy right now,
Oh my
just in my
god.
community. So it probably will become a national news story, but um, those
That's
kind of
so
stories,
sad.
I won't cover those stories when it's like that kind of crime
Those are
because
very hard.
it's yeah, it's too much, and I know my viewers aren't won't enjoy watching that. There's true crime, yeah, and there can be like unaliving in true crime, and it's still it can be entertaining, but not something like that. But
No,
that's
there
the
are
kind.
some hideous crimes that are like, oh my god, how can you do this? Like, it's just
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah. But I do watch like trials. I like them. I think I was following the current retrial. The Brian Goldberger's trial is gonna start. I don't know how it's
yeah.
gonna be. That's insane. That's super interesting case. So I've been following that since he got
There's some crazy things going on there. Tomorrow, Mac and I are going to cover the Canadian hockey player trial in Canada.
oh, okay. Wow,
Tomorrow,
I'm
her and
gonna
I are
watch
going to
that.
do a show on that. That's going to be insane. Um, and the Karen Reed trial, that's wrapping up. It
Yes.
should be it should be done by Tuesday.
What's your
Um,
opinion on that?
I mean, if it's pretty obvious to me that she's innocent. Um, how could she not be with all the evidence that with all the lack of like real evidence that the Commonwealth has, and then like today like the ARCA people are on, and they were hired by the feds to investigate the entire situation. um but I'm gonna prophesize right now, and I don't ever do this. The feds are still investigating that whole situation. The people that are involved don't think they are, but I assure you that they are, and they'll take their sweet time to do it. But I think someday we're going to see Judge uh Aunt Bev. I think she's going to go to jail someday, probably in the next 5 to 7 years. um because there's a lot of ex parte communications with her and the
Oh, wow.
prosecutor. You know what that is, right? Like talking.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. And ¿cómo se dice ex parte? Is it the same?
it's the
Ex
same.
parte?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. Um the There's just too much. What do you think?
I think she's innocent. Like
Yeah.
maybe not a popular opinion, but it's for me, like, and I don't think she's getting a fair trial at all. Like last time or this one, I don't think, and I don't think like I like watching the trials, but I don't think they help in fair trials. I think um, there's a lot of public opinion, and with the information we have right now, I don't think they are completely unbiased opinions from
Right.
the juries. Like I think if you're gonna do something like that, you have to isolate the juries like completely
Yeah.
of
I,
everything, so they don't get any information.
yeah. I'm
And
surprised that they didn't on this one. What they call it, segregation, jury segregation or something like that.
mhm,
And I'm surprised they didn't do it on this because it is such a big case. Like like these jurors can't really even go to the grocery store. I mean, they're going to see, magazine covers,
yeah,
and come on, you're not going to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? I think about this all the time. There's no way I'm going to go home and have dinner, with my family and just be like, they're going to like, so how was the trial today? I'm like,
I can talk about it. Yeah,
there's no way. You're just going to be like, it was crazy.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And I think you can speak completely unbiased, and you'll get opinions from people, and if they know you're a jury or something like that. So
mhm,
for me, I think it's important for. I don't know. I don't know the legal system in US that well, but for what I see in the trials, I do think the juries need to be. I, I don't know with the information we have nowadays. It's very difficult to have a fair trial like that. I don't think so.
mhm,
Like media public information is crazy, and you get like very like sometimes they already sentenced someone without
mhm.
him going to the trial, and I think for me that's important because you are innocent until proven guilty, right? So
That's right.
um I don't know, but I think she's innocent from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. She's going to get off. excuse me, there she with the defense probably could have not even presented a case and she still would have got off. They've there's so much doubt and that's beyond reasonable that there's no way a jury can find, there's no way 12 jurors can. Maybe there might be one or two,
In this case, it has to be like all, or if there's
all or
one,
nothing.
it's
Yep.
okay.
If there's one holdout, the judge might say, nope, keep going until you guys, give me a verdict. Um, I think they absolutely would do that. It's the judge's discretion to do that. If they say, no, we're kind of stuck, it's, 8-2 or 8-2, 8-4, or, 11-1, the judges be like, nope, go back in there until you guys figure it out.
Okay,
I think the judge would do that in this specific case.
probably, yeah. Okay, we have
But
a
anyway,
question. Is there a
okay.
piece of advice you would give to your younger self if you could meet them?
Yeah. You want me to go first? I'll go first.
You go
Um,
first, yeah.
yeah. Um, I, I think what I was, I hope this isn't a cop out, but kind of like what I said earlier to like, look at my, whatever you do, always, look at what your role is in anything that's adverse happening in your life. Did you create this? What is your responsibility in this? It might not, if you have no responsibility or no anything, just stay out of it. Just say no to drugs, all the things. I didn't do drugs until I was 29.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so but like, yeah, my really younger self, that's what I would have said.
I don't know what I'm like. I'm just gonna tell her that life gets better and to love herself more, value
To love
herself
yourself
more,
more.
don't let people mistreat her. And I think that's what, because I come from a situation of domestic violence and like
Mhm.
narcissistic abuse. So, like, part of that is like I didn't find my
I
worth until recently. So,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, fight for my own voice, not to hide it. I think that's what I would tell
Isn't
her.
it crazy when you discover your worth?
Yeah.
It's like that's another thing I would tell my younger self is that you're not ugly. I thought I was so ugly when I was younger, especially in high school, because I had like cystic acne. That's what these scars right here are from, cystic acne. But when I was younger, I thought these were just like, oh, don't look at these, and I had a hard time. So I always had to like be over charismatic, always be like, try to be super charming, try to be. I'm not saying I was, but just, and not in an offensive way where people are like, oh my God, this guy again. I had a lot of friends and I always, felt I had a a decent, outward looking girlfriend, and then but their insides were I chose poorly all the time. Except for my daughter's mother. My daughter's mother, you know, they were gorgeous, they were gorgeous, like inside and out. Well,
Yeah.
my daughter's 3/4 Mexican, so
We Mexicans are great.
yeah, they sure are. They sure are. Except for this one,
Yeah.
she's the only güera.
But
Gavacha.
gabacha. So, me, I think I was bullied in school. I also had cystic acne, but I got a good treatment, so it doesn't show a lot. But I do have like problems with my skin. I was bullied a lot. I remember mom telling me like, make them like you. I'm like, they're being horrible to me. Why? And I was always taught not to fight for, like, if someone's mistreating you, like, you have to set boundaries. So I never knew how to set boundaries.
Mhm.
So for me it was normal. And that's when I got into this narcissistic relationship. I was 15 years with my son's dad and he was not a good
Mhm.
person. Still he is not. So it's like it's very complicated to do that. But now that I'm knowing my worth, and I think it's on a very recent relationship that I'm in, that I'm starting to learn that I'm valuable, I'm worthy, and like all of these things. And now I'm like, I'm not settling for less than what I'm getting now. So you
Yeah.
see, it's like
Yeah.
so that's I think the, but I had to learn that, and so that's why I would tell my younger self like, you have to
Hold
fight
on.
for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we have a comment here. Let's see. Um, Sam, you show good character when you acknowledge your mistakes and do your best to fix them. I respect you. See, that's a common
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
one. Let's see. Danetta says, "Sorry, I'm late. I forgot to set my alarm again." Um, let's see. I wonder what unconditional familial love feels like. My grandpa was like that. Unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
Heather Max asks, and question, and it's been hard to trust creators in chat. How do you deal or look at that?
Question, and it's been hard to trust creators and chat. How do you deal or look at that? I don't know. I guess what are we trusting creators with? Like our viewership, our you know what I mean, our attendance at the lives, or do we watch their content? Um, or are we trusting like what they're saying is true? Um, or are they just giving opinions on news stories? I like doing all of that. I love giving opinions on, true crime, on, court cases like we just did, on, racial tensions. I know those shows don't go over well with my community, but I still will make those shows because it's an interesting topic to me, um, because the it's so it's such a I don't want to say it's so prevalent right now because but the race baiting is prevalent, not and I'm not even talking about like our community. I'm talking about in the world, like people making things about race is so prevalent, and I want to fight that. I want to combat that um in some way, shape, or form. Like give it information to people before they get sucked into it, you know. Because in a lightweight way, I got sucked into it a little, and I just now realized that, like, I kind of got sucked into that. I never considered myself a racist, even when I was in a white prison gang. In my heart, I never considered myself that. But I bet you people would have said, "Oh yeah, he's racist." But I mean, I know, this comment sounds racist, but like I had tons of black friends, even on this, we couldn't hang out, per se, but we would like, stand on the rail and talk, or we would play football and basketball and things like that. Um, but on the streets, I mean, so many different, friends of so many different race. I'm half Mexican, but I just look so white that, I was always Casper or Casparin, that I was never,
Mhm.
you know, I was never bullied for being the white guy in my Mexican neighborhood. But I was the token white guy, I was
Mhm.
you know, the white Mexican kid. But I mean, I'm not the only one. There's, there was a few, in my neighborhood, but um,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I
think.
hate racism. I hate it. I hate it, and I hate people convincing other people that another race um isn't as equal. And it happens. People try to actually. I hate more the people that try to convince other people, because if you get convinced, then that's on you. Like you're drinking the Kool-Aid, or you don't feel you're secure enough in your own world and ideology to stand on your own, to stand on what you believe in. So you're going to let someone do the Jedi mind trick, and and convince you of something else.
Yeah. I think any hate, it's bad regardless what it is. If it's race, if it's like sexuality, if it's whatever type of hate
Yeah.
is horrible. I don't like to
Yeah.
comment on that, but because I think again, violence triggers violence and it just
Yeah.
escalates. I like to like in terms of creators, I like to observe a lot, especially if I'm joining a channel for the first time, because I
Mhm.
don't want to repeat the experience that we had. So I'm just like trying to
Yeah.
look at inconsistencies and how they treat the people who are close to them. Like try to find like if there's authenticity there. So I think for a creator it's noticeable when you're like on screen. For the chat it's very hard to tell. Just I tend to be very trust I trust a lot and I've been burned a lot lately. So people that I thought were my friends were really not good friends and backstabbed me in horrible
Really?
ways. Yes, it's so I've been very careful now in terms of I don't share much of my information anymore. I try to keep it a little bit more superficial. I don't go as deep as I used to. I'm trying to like my circle is smaller now. I try not to like tell everyone everything about my life and
Then like say a month ago, it's smaller than like a month ago.
yeah, like 2 months
Mm.
ago, even
Yeah.
January, like like everything started to crash in January. And then when I did that live, like all the haters started to like show themselves and I got called a lot of names and got called a lot of things. I've been called like from very close people. I was backstabbed from someone who I really trusted and spreading lies about me, knowing that what I went through. And it was like, why are they doing this? I've never heard anyone. I don't go talking about people. And I was like, guys, I'm just gonna stop this and I'm gonna stop talking to people. So now if you say something mean to me, you're like they were using my trauma against me because they know about me because I consider they're my friends. And when you share so much of you to someone, they can use that as a weapon to hurt you. So
They
that's when
can.
I started like, I'm not gonna share anything anymore. So I just like, oh, if you are mean to me, I'm just gonna block you. I'm not gonna even talk to you anymore. I'm just, you're mean, I'm gonna block
Mhm.
you. I'm setting my boundaries super harsh right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And now I have like a very, very small circle. And it's
Mhm.
been hard, but I think it's safer that way. So yeah, it's been
Yeah.
hard.
I and even like by Heather Mack's question, it takes me back a little bit, or not takes me back, but it makes me step back a little bit because I don't know how, like we're all just like you and I are having a live together
Hmm.
and we're talking and we're talking to the chat. I don't see, excuse me, I don't see what anyone would gain by being mean to one of us or by like just blindly or like talking behind someone's back and you find it's just like with who we were talking about earlier. Like I helped her bring that audio, right? And then I found
Hmm.
out that like the whole time she was talking like this, like saying really bad things about me. And that's why I just stopped even talking to her. But then she started saying little digs and little things and so fine, that's when I finally said, oh yeah, well, here's the real deal. But anyways, and I shouldn't even have done that, but I'm not talking about like the receipts to respond to her.
Hmm.
She called us all racist and things, but I mean the just all of it. But it blew me away that she was talking bad about me when like every interaction I ever had with her was like loving, you know.
That's the thing, and I think that's the problem with manipulation, especially when you are online and you have a platform. Like that's why I when I talk about someone else, I have receipts, and that's when I what I did with her. I was
Mhm,
like, I have receipts, and I'm just gonna do the same with others. Like when they were
mhm,
talking about me, they were saying that I since I was supporting her, um, that I should be like I was the same. I'm a grifter. I'm here for the money. That I
Yeah.
neglect my kids. That I never left my
What the?
partner who abused me. That I never like. And the person who was spreading these lies was there when everything happened. Like I told her the day it happened. So
Mhm.
it was for me. It was very difficult to like very personal information. The things that she knew about me were spread. And like, okay, she's lying and she's a narcissist. I'm like, you know I was abused by a narcissist. Like, why are you saying all these things about me when I haven't done anything to you? Like, I've never spread hate about you. I never said this about you. And same with when everything with Reese happened, she said we were on a hate campaign against her, and we were just minding our own business. We were not doing anything. We just I just removed myself from the situation. I'm saying I'm gonna leave this and I'm gonna move on. And then like you see all these people talking about you and saying all these things and like well, I'm not doing anything. So what I'm saying is like okay, I'm going to bring the truth. This is my receipts. I'm not going to talk about my personal opinion about this person. That's on her, whatever she's
Yeah.
doing, or he or whichever who's spreading the lies. This is what I'm
Right.
doing. These are the facts. So that's the only thing that supports me. So that's why I don't like lying, because you get into this like web of lies that you have to remember every little thing that you said. So that's why I
Mhm.
don't lie. I don't like lying because I have a very
I
bad
know.
memory. So I would never
Yeah.
remember what I said last week or maybe 10 minutes ago. So I just go with the truth. And I think that
Yeah.
shows, but it's difficult for us because, or at least me, I was trying to come in this place with an open heart and saying, okay, I'm going to be honest and authentic. But that puts me in a vulnerable position also because I'm sharing my experience and my journey with people who I'm not seeing their
Mhm.
faces. I don't know if the people who's behind the keyboard is authentic or it's a real person, like really
Mhm.
caring about me or just there for the drama. So then
Mhm.
I think that's difficult for us as who are like on the screen. So that's why I think keeping your circle smaller is healthier and
Yeah.
and get to know people before you start sharing, oversharing or whatever. Because I also tend to overshare sometimes because I want people to like me sometimes because
Mhm.
I've been doing that all my life because I want people to, I don't know, part of my trauma or my triggers or
Mhm.
whatever. So I like to just share, but that's
Mhm.
sometimes that hurts me also. So I think sometimes it's unhealthy. So I'm now
Sure.
keeping my distance. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's complicated.
Yeah.
See.
I feel like if we had different kinds of if we were different kinds of content creators, I thought about this. I think it was Tommy Stiggs or someone had said something about, you know, this is, sharing stuff. I can't remember who it was, but there was something about like, you know, you shouldn't share, you know, this kind of information and, the internet or some, or I can't remember. I don't think it was actually Tommy Stiggs. I think Tommy said something similar, but not like what
He
I'm
said
talking
something
about.
similar the other day. Yeah, he doesn't share much. Like he doesn't. He also says like people don't care about your life. Well, some people do, but I like, for example, in channels like mine, which are related to healing
Well,
and
exactly.
trauma, I have to share some. It's maybe they
That's
don't
what I'm
want to
saying. Like,
know all
I
the
like on a
details.
recovery channel first, and then everything else is second.
Yeah.
So, but like I've never shared anything on my Legal Livewire channel ever. I just talk about trials and court cases and dockets. I've never shared not one legal thing, personal thing about me at all. Um, for like over a year now. I do stream to both channels the same show sometimes, just to try to get more exposure. But yeah, my subscribers in the other channel, when they see like these shows, they're like, what are these shows you're doing? You're not even doing any court, you're just talking. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know, it's another channel I have. They're like, keep it on the other channel.
Yeah.
Subscribers can be mean, man, I'm telling you. Like
Yeah.
people that just don't know you, like just like normal subscribers, like you misspelled there, used the wrong there, or
Yeah, because they are in the anonymity of the keyboard. So that's also something. It's not that, and I just like not. It's easier to criticize someone. They, I think I was like sometimes I over criticize people like why are you doing this, or like when I was like not criticizing, but I've been on the other side too. But now that I'm like on screen, it's very difficult.
Mhm.
gotten some comments on my live shows, like very nasty comments, and I'm like, I don't know how to deal with them sometimes. Right now, I laugh now, but at the beginning, I just stopped and I didn't know what to do. I just froze, like, oh my god, what I'm gonna
Hmm.
do with this? Because I felt embarrassed about it. And also, like, I'm very sarcastic and witty and all that in Spanish, but in English I have a lot of issues like finding the right words. So I'm like, okay, I can't be like as quick as I could be in Spanish, and doing a channel in
Hmm.
another language that is not mine. And then like trying to like respond to an aggression like that, it's not as easy as you would think. So yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
complicated.
yeah.
So when I get trolls, it's like, oh my god, I wish I could respond. So, but I have good mods. So let me see. Um, my grandma was the most important person to me. Her passing was the worst ever. I get you, Joe Mama. I know. I
Yeah,
had that with my grandpa.
yeah. I
Um,
love Joe Mama.
nice to see you, Yo Mama. And then Ned and
Oh,
Coco.
your mama.
I don't know if she's innocent or if it's I just want to be innocent. Yeah, I think we are on the same page with you. Then it says Judge needs to go to jail. She's so cruel. She's bent. Yeah.
She's going. Watch, mark my words. I just want to predict that. That's all.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
You said the time frame is 7 years, so we'll talk in 7 years and see.
Yeah.
Like within
Okay.
7 years. Hopefully, it's
Bye, everybody.
sooner than 7 years. um, sequester. That's the word. I can't believe
Oh yeah.
Didi
Well,
is
yeah,
sequestered.
get it.
Yeah, that was the word.
Yeah.
Um, Cosmic says, I go with my instincts now. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. Yeah, I think that's also another thing that I sometimes don't listen or see the red flags. What now I see them better than I used to, but I think I tend to ignore my first like gut feeling, like no, let's give them a chance. Maybe he's not that bad, and then it was.
Hmm.
So like I think trust the first instinct is important. Um,
Yeah. I think that's important to go with your gut. I mean, just especially like the older we get. I mean, that can be there even when you're younger. Kids know. I think almost always when someone is not a great person. But as we get older, we start to that we're worried about so many other things that we just like blindly will trust people. I don't
yeah,
know without listening to your gut.
I I always try to trust that there's always light in people, but some people come with bad intentions, and I think that's also important. So
Hmm.
when I see or something like true colors to start showing, then I start getting more cautious and just take a step back. Maybe I'm not harsh, but I set my boundaries. I'm becoming very good at setting boundaries, not to myself but to other people. So I'm starting to
Hmm.
get better at that, and I think that's a way to protect myself. But I'm with some people, I'm just harsh. I'm like, I'm gonna block you, and you're not gonna hear from me again ever. Like we're done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't feel bad anymore or guilty about it because you hurt me. So why should I give you one or another three, one, two, three chances? I know we mess up, but when there's no remorse and when you use especially when you use something very personal to hurt the other person with like that's vicious, that's evil, that i
That is
i don't like
vicious.
that's
Yep.
yeah. So I
That's the
that's when I
perfect
say
word.
look,
Vicious.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. So when you're using someone else's pain to hurt them, it's not okay. So that's
Yep.
when I set my boundaries super hard, like they are not negotiable anymore, which
Yeah.
John Wama says creators are so vulnerable because they don't know if comments are true. I think,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah. In the beginning, I dealt with a lot of that. I thought everybody was a spy from especially when Risa told me, like, when she was trying to get me on her side, and she told me, like, Tommy wanted me to use all my sock accounts to email him so he could show you emails that people don't like you. So you would leave the show. I was like, it's my show. How am I going to leave my show? Like, he's my co-host, not the other way around. Yeah, he's a better, orator, speaker than I am, but it's he can't fire me. Even I don't care if if he just showed me a million emails, I wouldn't have been like, okay, bye. you know.
So that's a
But
manipulation tactic, and that's what I tried to show when I did my show with John. Because um, what they do is that there's an entity, an evil thing out there that you have to protect them
mm,
from. So it's like you get into this mindset that okay, I need to protect them at all costs, and there's spies everywhere, and you get into this paranoia that you only understand when you get out of that, and that's what they use to manipulate you because then there's something
mhm,
else like some drama is happening, something like danger, but you don't know what the danger is, but it's there, and you need to protect the person, and you have to be always looking for spies or information, and I think that's a cultish a little bit because it's like everyone's against you and she is this precious thing that you have to protect and
oh,
it's a little bit
that's so well put. Yes, yeah, that's perfect. You've
but
said
it's
that perfect.
she doesn't do it like it's very subtle so
It's so
you
subtle.
start getting involved in that so when you starting to see things you're already in it like it's when like narcissists work with you when you are in a relationship because I don't know if you know this but narcissists are like the cult of one so it's like a cult too so they manipulate you and they start very softly with like they love bomb you and they are very nice to you and they're the perfect person and then one day they just start changing and they start manipulating you so it's the same like they manipulate you very subtle so when you
Mhm.
already like you start noticing the red flags you lost your support system you lost everyone else around you and it's the same when you're in a cult you start getting so protective that you start fighting people that you don't even have a problem with but you start fighting
Yeah,
other people because you are protecting someone or you're protecting something so it's the
yeah,
same mindset and it's complicated when to leave that and that's how it starts and I was there because I remember I protected her a lot and I was looking for spies on everywhere I was
yeah.
looking for this enemy that I don't even know who it was. Like it was like there was an enemy, and
Wow,
everyone was the enemy, and everyone was a spy. And then you become the traitor because now when you leave, oh no, she's the enemy. She was a spy, and it's like, no, I'm not a
wow,
spy. I'm just a regular person. Like just I didn't like what you were doing, so I left. And it's okay to disagree, but that's the
wow,
tactics that they use to manipulate you.
wow. Yeah, that's heavy. It really
It took
is.
me, yeah, it took me a while to understand it. I had to do a lot of research because when I left I was very hurt and when I left my narcissistic relationship I was very hurt so I've learned a lot about it in therapy sessions and I talked about with my psychologist and she explained to me a lot of these tactics of
Yeah, yeah,
manipulation.
it's amazing because yeah, because you probably want to know like, how did this happen? How did I let this? How did I let my life get to this point, right? And
So for
okay,
example with my abusive relationship with my narcissistic relationship it was like I'm supposed to be an intelligent woman I have a profession I'm independent woman I do this like I'm very smart I speak three languages, I whatever. I considered myself very intelligent. How being so smart was so dumb to fall for this guy and then like get involved in something so horrible to myself. Like I'm that's not smart. But then she explained how they work and how they operate and how they make you feel this size and you're very small and your self-esteem is destroyed and it puts you in a vulnerable position and if you
mhm,
see the people who are surrounding that, there are people who come from the same backgrounds that I come from, who have low self esteem, who have been in abusive relationships, who have been like this, have had a lot of problems in their lives. And these are people who are empaths who tend to try to protect and help the others so they don't suffer. And I think
yeah,
that's what they use for themselves. And it's not
wow,
just her, there's a lot of people out there who do
oh
this.
yeah, yeah,
So for example in my case is I want to bring awareness of these red flags or these situations that you get into so when you are in a situation you find yourself in a situation like that it's like okay now I know what to do in this situation and how to set boundaries and I think that's the first thing we need to do for me that it's been very I've learned a lot from this.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It shows. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
Janet says, my father taught university courses in the history of anti Semitism. His thought was that everyone has some racism in them, in places we might not realize. Knowing that is the first step to reducing it, acknowledging.
Yeah.
She says, if you recognize that you might have traces of racism, then you can work on it. If you think you are not racist, you might not be facing it.
Yeah.
I think we all have a little bit of something.
I I know I do. You know, and I'm not even gonna call them. You know, what do they call those? Micro something. There's a name for it, like microaggressions of
Mhm.
racism, like like just like little things. No, I have a couple of kind of strong ones, but I know it's not every one of this particular race, but I know it's a general trait, and it gets proven to me over and over again. But I have to learn that still you have to take everyone as an individual and see for myself if that this person has that trait, of that race. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's the problem. In general, like generalizations are bad. Like it's like
Mhm.
all women are crazy, all men are these, all men like
Men are
all of
strong.
those. Yes, like it's not true. Like these, like you said, if it's person by person, and I think that's when we
Mhm.
lose ourselves in color, sexuality, race. But we have to
Mhm.
relearn a lot of the things because, for example, in my country, like there's a lot of racism against the communities that we have here, indigenous communities, and the
Mhm.
way like you people tend to uh, underestimate the job that they do. For example, with the artisans,
Mhm.
like they're like always trying to like lower the price of what they're selling or things like that, and I think that's
Mhm.
horrible. Or like how men treat women in my country is horrible, and there's a lot of like gender related crimes against women because of the
Mhm.
sake of being women, and it's always like something violent against women or something like that. And that comes from the way that we are raised and how we are educated. And it's like women belong in the kitchen, men belong in the like work. Men are the people who bring the bread to the house. And so all of these things, and you are like indoctrinated on those things. So you have to relearn and unlearn what you learned before, and then relearn how to process all the things. But some of them are so in our souls that it's very difficult to actually acknowledge them and see them. So it's
Mhm.
like when you have to do some introspection, but not everyone wants to do that. To look
Yeah.
like in the mirror and say, okay, what am I like? What am I missing? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard. Um, have I feel you. My circle gets smaller and smaller, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay too. I think it's better to deal with less people.
Hey, Hef.
Danette says, I don't know. I think they were talking about something else. Can you give
Oh,
me
okay.
1 second? I'll be right back. Wait.
Okay, doke. Hi. How is everybody, man? I've been looking forward to this show for a really long time. Um, and I felt like I lost contact with Ximena, and then we reconnected because I had missed an email, and then yeah. So this is awesome that we are doing this show today. I'm sorry, I was just
No, it's okay. Sorry, it was my daughter's dad calling, so I needed to give her the phone. Hef says that, oh, she's so sweet, that most trustworthy person. Thank you, Hef. I love you. Um, they're very nice people. I feel like my self esteem grows when people
did they
say
get
nice things.
married?
No,
They
I've
because they
been
they live far apart, right? Like
who?
Alan and Hef.
I don't know if they're still they were marrying. I don't know if June, July, or something. I don't have you can you tell us? Are you married now or not?
Yeah,
That would
give
be
us the
cool.
tea.
Yeah, we want to know. Um, let's see. Chris, hi. Thank you for the super chat. Um, I love this phrase. That's why I started. Shell says, silence is powerful. And it is. Also, it's a
Simone,
kind of
Simone.
uh, I think most women feel that way. I don't remember why I started that one. Trying to see.
Lynn Arundel is amazing.
I think everyone is amazing. I like them.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I'm trying. I'm sorry if I'm missing any comments, guys. For me, this chat is going super fast. I'm not used to this. Um,
How many people are here?
58. I normally have 20, but most of them are in your channel. But I'm not used to.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah. I can imagine the horrible impact on you as creators. As we are in chat, we can see it in real time. I'm sorry so many get them just for that purpose of these remarks. Yeah, I have very good mods. I really, 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 really appreciate them.
I don't
Um,
even know. I don't even know how many mods I have anymore. I yeah. I have James Collins Cares. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's amazing. He's
I
an
don't know.
I mean, everyone is amazing. You're right. When I say that now, I feel like I'm like, no one else is amazing, just James. I don't mean it like that. I just mean he's like been really helpful since everything happened. He stood by me and not like out of blind faith, out of loyalty. He just like from the beginning, him and I connected, and he's really helped my channel sustain.
Yeah, it's your channel is amazing, and the chat moves like super quickly. In mine, it's like sometimes I'm like, okay, they're not talking, but it's fine. We talk hippy dippy things and healing. Sometimes it's just me and a monologue there, but I really have fun. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see. There's a lot of comments. Have said that's exactly how I got sucked in. I was ready to throw hands to defend her. Lesson learned.
Take
Yeah,
the earrings out and come on, let's go.
Susie wants to be a mod. She's asking to be a mod. I don't know.
Well, of course. I would love for her to be a mod.
Um, Ben
I want
says we have built-in need to protect people we see as victims. Some love to paint themselves as victims because of that. It's a dodge for them to get by. Yeah. Uh, Christy talks about this with her victim archetype. I think we were talking about manipulation there. Um, Thompson says, just happened you two are live. I'm so happy we could connect. This morning he messaged me like, are we still doing this? Because we like said that yesterday. I don't know. We were trying to put this together. I think
Mhm.
I had a meltdown while like after your birthday. So I was like, I'm not doing anything anymore. I was gonna quit my channel. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Wow. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I even asked Susie one time, I was like, why is Ximena mad at me? And she's like, no one's mad at you, weirdo. And I'm like, no, I think everyone's like mad at me because I'd seen you in you had recommended Tommy Sticks to me.
Yes.
Well, to everyone, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go check it out. And then and you were in the chat. I was like, Ximena, look, I'm here, and you didn't say hi or anything, and you didn't respond to my email. So I was like, what is going on? And then I didn't see or hear from you for a while, and so I was like, okay, well, I guess
Oh
she's
no.
or like some healing or something. I don't know. But I mean, I couldn't imagine what I would have done except for maybe not respond. Some people get really upset when you don't respond to their emails quickly. And
I don't because I don't
no,
respond quickly myself. So I
yeah,
was like,
no, and I understand that now. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
Um,
if it
so
was
I'm
in
always worried
Tommy
about
Steve
that.
shows in the morning, I probably fell asleep with the phone in my hand. That's why I
Yeah,
didn't respond
yeah,
because
yeah.
I
It's
sometimes set the
5 o'clock when
alarm
they
to
show
watch
this
him.
on. Yeah.
He's super funny. I always like set the alarm because now it's 5 in the morning for me when he does the show. I think you
Hmm.
and I are in the same time zone.
Yeah.
So I wake up, I set the alarm, I go there for a little bit, and then I fall asleep again. And I wake up
Oh
and
wow.
chat again, and then fall asleep again. If I hear him ranting, because I go for the rants, like morning rants are amazing. And when he says "Yo, sister's ass," I'm very happy about
Oh
it. So
yeah, and yeah, I remember the other day he said that, and you said it, and he's like, Ximena, I said what? What did I say? And you're like, yo, sister's ass. Yeah.
yeah, I want to make a T-shirt like "Your sister's ass" because he
Oh,
like
let me make that. I will make
I
that.
Please. I want to send it
Yeah.
to Tommy. Like yeah, he's super supportive of my
Yeah,
channel.
you
He's
haven't seen
always
my
there.
clothing. My clothing is pretty cool. Like I do some pretty cool
Awesome.
design, like illustrations and cartoons, things like that. Yeah.
Well, you're a tattoo artist. I've seen your like work. It's amazing. Like
Thank you.
I'm a
Yeah.
fan of
Yeah.
tattoos. Like I love tattoos.
I'm pretty
I'm getting
popular.
one here. Yeah.
Are you? I've
Well, I
tattooed
have.
In Mexico a couple of times. I was in prison in Mexico for a little bit too.
Oh,
And yeah, in La Mesa, Pueblito. Yeah,
wow.
up in TJ. La Mesa. I had a lot of fun there, though. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fun
Wow.
there.
Well, if you ever come to Mexico, let me know. I'll get a tattoo for sure.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I have one tattoo here, I one in the back, one in my leg, and I want to get one here. Like like I already have the design, but I'm gonna tattoo like everything.
I'm gonna be only doing traveling tattoos. Like I'm closing my shop pretty soon. It's like my eighth shop in
Hmm.
for a while, and I'm just done. I'm done dealing with customers like that. I just want to tattoo on friends and family now, and just travel. Whenever I travel, I have like a really nice travel case that everything
Hmm.
has its place,
Cool.
and yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah. Well, I want to go to the States hopefully next year, beginning of next year. We'll see with the visa situation, but I'll let you know if you're available. Let me know. I love tattoos.
I will absolutely be available.
Awesome. Let's see. Empaths. Okay, so Have says, I'm way too empathetic. It gets me in trouble a lot. Empaths are so vulnerable because oftentimes they assume other people are as kind as they are and that everyone has wholesome motives like they do. Exactly. Um, Jean says, I'm French from Quebec. No racism in me, just some people annoy me more than others. Yeah.
I I always wondered if I was an empath. Like I just never knew. And I've had people tell me I am, and I absolutely know I am, now. Um, but you don't want to tell the fellas, like, hey guys, I'm an empath. you know, like in the circles that I,
Yeah.
like hang out in. It's just a lot of not I wouldn't say like machismo, but it's just a lot of, working out, banging iron and um in those circles. But in the when I go talk, at treatment centers or jails or churches, mostly now, I don't really do treatment centers anymore, because most of the treatment centers I talk at now, they don't let me talk about God and my transformation, believing in Christ. So I used to try to like tone it down and like not say higher power, but but I couldn't even say, I choose mine to be they were really strict on it. And I was like, well, I won't go talk there anymore. I just won't.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's complicated.
it is
Uh,
complicated. Yep. It is. It is.
yeah. I think also what has helped me to understand or be a little bit more open to other people traveling has helped me a lot to understand other cultures, other points of view, and also being discriminated against because I'm Mexican or
Hmm.
because of my beliefs because I'm a witch and then like people is like no
Hmm.
she like how do you say worships the devil I don't like things like
I
that
know.
so it's like
Witches don't worship the devil. Yeah.
yeah I know but that's what they say like there's a lot of misconceptions around what I believe and spirituality and tarot is like there's a lot of misconceptions so there's a lot of things going on there and I'm discriminated against that by my own family even so it's like okay so I try to respect any belief any like
Do you ever
political belief.
do you ever
Sorry.
do readings, like
Yes.
online readings?
Online readings, I try not to because for me it's very sacred in terms of um, the type of answers you can get. So, like the privacy for me is important. It's like I treat
Nice.
it like a consultation, like if you went to therapy. So it's like okay,
Awesome.
you have a question, so it's very private. I do oracle readings online, but if I could do like less in-depth readings,
Yeah.
but I like to spend more time with understanding the energy, what the universe is trying to say, channeling the information that I'm getting. So all of these, um, for me, I just like one-on-one consultations because of the, the type of information that I can get from the reading, especially because
Did you
people
hear
come
me
to me for guidance.
did you hear me talking about tarot cards? When I said, like, I was really into tarot cards for a long time. I had it like an angel deck. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? It was like an angel deck. And when I mean, I would always like, my card was the Fool, right? And when the very first deck I was ever given, she had me. I was putting my energy into them, and I was shuffling them, and I was kind of like, just like kind of meditating with them a little bit. And I dropped them, and when I dropped them, she says, "Hey, hey," she's like, and she like picked up the cards and she like laid them out, and she like told me this story. It was like the story of the Fool. Like, it was like this husband who like went to prison. He was like, went to jail or something like that, falsely accused, or what, or he was a good guy. I don't know, but it was like my story. This is before all this had happened to me. Um, and I don't know. It was really similar to what happened in my life. And she's like, like, this is you actually draw like all the cards that were up when I dropped the cards, she put them in like this formation. It was a long time ago, but she's like, yeah, that's the story of the Fool. And I always draw the Fool card. Like, I always draw with my left hand, and I always draw the Fool. Like, I can draw that card. It's bizarre. And when I tell people, they're like, no way. I'm like, look, and I just draw it. It's
So,
bizarre.
like when you pull the same card, it's because it has a message for you. A full means new beginnings. Like when you so the tarot cards are divided into major groups: the major arcana and the minor arcana. The
Mhm,
major arcana are the 21 cards that are related to the soul's journey, and they start with the Fool and end with the World. And it's the way that your soul grows through lifetime to lifetime. So it's like all
mhm,
the since you are like born to the full cycle of the lessons learned and all of that. And
mhm,
the Fool is that it's a new beginning. It's like you're completely fresh, completely born, completely new. You don't have nothing so you take a leap of faith. You don't know if you what you're jumping to, but you're jumping to something. So that is, for me, it's a very beautiful card when it's pulled out, because it's like you're going
mhm,
through a phase of changes, and you have to take a
mhm,
leap of faith to see to the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen, but it's gonna happen. And
mhm.
I get, for me, I always get the Tower, which is the most negative card on the like the
Wow.
but it's um for me that one is, and the Death are my favorite cards. And I know it's very weird to say that. The Tower for me, it's like I need to reveal what I was going through. So whenever I've been dealing with a horrible situation or like very like crisis in my life, and it's been lately, it's like the Tower, and I know that I need to start over and try to like, okay, I
Wow.
need to be rebuild myself from this, and I need to learn my lesson, see what I can do. And it's always been very helpful when I get that one. So it's
Mhm,
like it's the messages that you get constantly that are like there's something that you need to learn from that. So you need to pay attention to the signs, to make a lot of introspection of what you're going through in your life at that moment, so you can actually start understanding what the card is trying to tell you. So it's
yeah.
so I like to go very in depth, like you can see. So it's
Yeah,
not just
no, geez, I'm fascinated by the tarot card. I do believe, I used to say, yeah, well, I believe in the tarot cards. I don't like to say I believe in them, but I believe that they're real, that they do, that there's something there. And I can't explain it.
so.
Um,
What it is, it's the same like if you use the pendulum or you use runes. It's not
oh,
those are just a tool that you use to interpret some of the messages when you're energetically connect to whichever you want, spirit, the universe, whichever name you want to call it. We all of us get signs in different ways. It's just some of us understand how to use those tools to translate those messages to normal like person who is not familiar with that. And it takes a lot of work and introspection. It's not that anyone can read tarot. It's just you have to practice your intuition and your connection and meditate a
mhm,
lot and things like that. but I think they're just tools. We could connect the same way without the cards. Sometimes we get the message even before you know what card you're going to pull because you already know the message. It's just you're channeling the energy through the cards. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's very
I
interesting
seen
how
a
it works.
I've done pendulum work too, and I don't even know what this means or if it means anything or if it was just something I seen. But I seen the pendulum really just stall for like a second and start swinging again, and then did its thing, and but it literally just stalled, and I was like, I was blown away, man. I was blown away.
So
Not like.
pendulums, it's also a tool to channel energy. You have an internal pendulum. So if you
Hmm.
stay still and you concentrate, you say, okay, I want to know my yes and I want to know my no, and
Yep,
you'll
that's what I
move in
did.
a certain way, right?
Hmm.
And it's a way to channel that because you already know the answer. So we are connected with the universe in general. So
Hmm.
that we already know the answers. Our soul knows the answers. So all of these are tools where we can channel all of that of the answers we already
Yeah,
know. It's
I
it's very like like maybe too. People are gonna think I'm crazy, but that's what I do. It's just
yeah, I love the pendulum. I think the pendulum is amazing, and you know, my Christian brothers and sisters, they would just think, but sorry, I just do. I I
I
have.
think yeah.
It's not my works that I get, my salvation with my God. So it's through
So
faith.
the thing about all of these is the intention behind everything, and I think
Exactly.
that can be also with religion, any religion, whether you're Christian, Buddhist, like whatever religion. If your intention is evil, everything's going to be evil. If your intention is pure, like
That's right.
that's what's going to like channel. So I think spirit, God, whichever you want to believe in, just uses different
Hmm.
tools to reach to each one of us because we are all different. So not everyone is going to believe the same thing. So there's different ways to get to other people. So that's why I respect every religion because that's the way their God or spirit or the universe is talking to them. So I don't, yeah,
Hmm.
I don't
Tú
like to.
sabes, tú sabes.
I like when you speak Spanish. So they are getting married in July.
Okay. Yeah,
We have to
it's
celebrate.
exciting.
Yeah. Narcissist gave the silent treatment. They are moving to Indiana. Awesome for this
Really?
job. Cool.
Okay.
Um, she says, I don't know what he's doing with my crazy ass. Because you're amazing here. Let's see. Oh, wait, Ned is here. There's the chat is moving. I don't know how much time you have. I don't have to go anywhere,
I don't either.
but
It's
so uh
it's Friday freestyle.
yes. Well, Sam, there was that defense of disco you foolishly attempted to mount. I'm kidding. The judgment you face for that is on you, not me.
I love disco
Um,
music, so he always teases me about it.
Da,
he's
Yeah, babe.
always using. Thank you,
Uh,
Ben, for becoming a member.
then
Let's see. I'm trying to see.
just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sure, no problem. Joe Mama, thank you for being here. Never been tempted to get a tattoo, but after Susie's show, I'm tempted to get one that says "Eat me, Larry." Ben, being Ben. You're fascinated with the whole reading thing? Good. It's very interesting. I love reading cards. Um, let's see. In a world where we can be virtually anything we choose, and yet we're still punished because of what others perceive. That's why you don't have to uh, pay attention to what others think of you. You just have to be true to yourself and be happy with who you are, and that's all you have to do. If you're happy, the rest can just go fuck off. Sorry about the language. Um, remember what you were before you started trading pieces of yourself to please others. That inner child still within you. Yes, exactly. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm missing any comments. Um, I am a cage-free human. Boundaries be damned. uh, hey, Barbie. Ximena, both are great cards of transformation. So cool. Yeah, I love them. I love those cards. Um, I, I, I love tarot. Tarot is my life. I love oracles. I love tarot. I love crystals. I tell my audience I'm a hippy dippy person. So feel free to jump to my show whenever you want. I do my shows every morning. Well, I was doing my shows every morning at 1 no 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, but my work has been super hard the past couple of weeks, so I have been canceling a lot of them. But I do oracle readings at the end, so if you want to go. Um, yeah, let's see. Praying for Mariana and Sammy. May God's love bind and heal and mature you both. Amen to that. Um, it's not how this is. Okay, I assume it's a joke because I've seen you in the chats. Um, let's see. It's called a personal relationship or to God for a reason. It's no one's exactly. Um, I'm talking your talk. Well, I'm glad. I'm very glad. Hey, love, how are you? Miss you. Hope the casino is doing okay. I had a life-size poster of John Travolta disco dancing. That's awesome. Um, I think everyone left the new mod. Why? Um, I like disco. Sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. Hey, Martha, how are you? Um, that John Travolta helped me practice kissing. Oh, I had a Johnny Depp one, I think. I had to stand on the chair to reach his lips, but it was so dreamy. Awesome. Um, so yeah, guys. So what do you want to know? Especially the ones who don't know me. The ones who know me, like, yeah, you can ask whatever. We were just hanging out. Um, they're robbing you. I'm sorry. You should go home then. Why do you people say these things when you know I must have make you pay for them? You're gonna make me pay that I like because I like disco. That's evil of you. Uh, I didn't disagree. Jesus is everywhere. Um, awaiting an aunt who within find. I'm so sorry, Martha. Guys, if you can send like in my channel when someone is struggling, what we do is we send sevens, 777, three sevens. Those that's an angel number that we use because that means healing, protection. So if we can send sevens to Martha's aunt and Martha, who's going through a difficult situation, that would be awesome. Um, thank you. I'm so sorry. So yeah, um, we were like, okay, with Sammy, we were trying to do this, like he said, like for a couple, I think a month or two ago, and I haven't even spoken to him before this show. So yeah, we're being finally we were able to connect, and I'm very happy that we did.
Me
Welcome back.
too. Thanks. What I miss?
Not much. Like we are sending sevens to Martha. In my channel, we do 777. It's
Oh,
um
perfect.
it's the angel number for healing and protection, and she's going through a tough time. So I was requesting the
Okay.
tattoos and sevens for her, and prayers and good vibes. Whichever is your belief, just send them over. She
Yeah.
needs it.
No, I love sevens.
Yeah, it's a nice number. I also work
Mm-hmm.
with angels, so it's like I do rituals with angels, with candles and all of that, and well,
Yeah.
although, and I really, really enjoy working with them. So I
I
had
know
a
what you
few
said.
questions for you that were like I wanted to have like just for fun questions because I just wanted to get to know you better. So
Yeah.
Um, let's see. What's the weirdest thing you've ever believed or been convinced of, even for a short time?
Ooh, that is an amazing question. Wow. Um, wow, that's a great question. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying it's a great question. Like that is a really good question. Um, even for a short time.
That's the difficult one.
Yeah. Um, I well, in a religious aspect, I was an Odinist for a while. You know, also
Mhm,
true. Like, and I was in part of a kindred, and we celebrated Yule every year. The winter solstice,
mhm,
and that was pretty crazy. Now I don't know if I would say it was weird, but it was definitely when I look back on it, I was like, what was I doing? Um, I don't know if any of that has any truth or if it's just stories from back in the day. I don't know enough about it to like speak on it that like, oh, it's fake. But I couldn't believe that I was convinced to like hail Thor, hail
mm,
oh doing those things. We would blow it with the horn, and yeah, it was pretty nuts. And I did for I mean, and this is a religion thing too. For a millisecond, I was friends with these Cuban guys, and we were the one where we worship the saints. Well, I didn't. They were just trying to tell me about it, and I was super interested in it because it seemed like there was something there. Do you know what I'm talking about? They ring the bell.
yeah.
Um, yeah. What's the name?
Okay. I don't know the name, but I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I
Another
feel like
one.
there's a better answer for that question.
No,
That's
it's a nice one. There's more questions, so it's not
okay,
a
okay,
quiz, but
okay.
another one is, what's one unsolved mystery, conspiracy, or urban legend you wish you could get the truth about?
Um, 2 years ago I would have said aliens, but I feel like that's been proven. The government's slowly coming out with more and more.
Did you hear
Um,
they found the first alien signal like just a few days ago?
the that telescope that shoots out and looks for it.
I don't know. I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson publish something about that. Like they received the
Oh,
signal,
really?
the
Yeah,
first
he's
alien
he's part
signal.
of that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
No, I did not hear that.
I'll share the news with you. I
Yeah,
have to read it. I saved it, so just remind me because I'm always forgetful of things. But yeah.
yeah, I will find it if I forget to remind you.
So
Um,
aliens is out of the question because that's proven to
yeah,
be
aliens out
real.
of the questions. It's not Bigfoot. That's not. I'm not. I mean, it'd be nice to know. But um, hmm.
They also found who's Jack the Ripper. Um,
What you know? What I that I would like to know if it's real or not. Can I change the question just a little bit to answer
sure,
just a tiny bit? I
sure.
wish. Um, I wish I could. I wish my spirit guide would show me more proof that they are there.
Awesome. That's nice.
Yeah, like I would like to be able to directly communicate with my spirit guide.
You can, I can teach you how. Just we'll communicate. I'll teach you how.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah, that can be solved. Don't worry. Okay. Um, let me see. I want to find something real cool. Okay. Aliens land here, and they ask you to describe humanity using only three objects. Which ones would you choose?
That's so crazy.
I'm
To
sorry, I'm a
describe
little bit crazy.
humanity. Um, of course, the Bible would be one for me. The
Hmm.
Bible. Um, um, hmm, that is so crazy. The Bible. I I know this is gonna sound great. A pill bottle, like a pharmaceutical pill bottle. Um, and I think a glass of water. I think a glass of water.
I think those are nice
And
answers.
and I don't mean the pills to go with the water at all. I was gonna
Like
say
get
water,
them drugged.
but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Try
A
these,
bottle of
please.
tequila, a beer.
I would
That's
bring
actually
I
a
would
good idea.
bring my favorite beverage, like my like cantaritos, like not with
Hmm.
tequila, but it can be a virgin cantarito, just that
Hmm.
one.
Yeah.
I would bring one super cool song that is like an iconic song that it's gonna be like just
Oh,
like
that's so
something,
good. Yeah.
and a painting. I think something that it's like an art, like something that is very expression,
Oh,
or a book, or
that's
so. Yeah,
I
I
want to
just thought
change
of
my
that.
answer. I would
You
like
can
to add a
change it. Yeah.
painting. Yeah, I
Okay.
would like to. A painting is perfect. I would want to switch pill bottle for painting because I forget it's to describe humanity. I mean, I was describing humanity in
Yeah,
our
you
like
were.
addiction to like or like our not just addiction, but because it's my thing to humanity. But the a painting is that's the perfect answer.
Yeah, no, I like that. Another one. Um, I promise this is the last one. I won't keep you
Oh,
up.
that's fine. That's fine. I enjoy
If you
these.
found yourself accidentally wrapped up in a true crime story, do you think you'd be the detective, the accidental hero, or maybe the comic relief, and why?
I would be the detective for sure.
The detective?
For sure.
I would be the
Mhm.
detective too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be the detective for sure.
Or maybe the accidental hero, something like I accidentally found something weird and I'm like, oh my god. I've always wanted to solve a crime. Like you've seen this there's this trend that they are like influencers trying to solve crimes and they've been actually
Mhm,
solving some crimes. There's
mhm,
this case in France from the city that I lived in. There's this guy who killed his family and then just
mhm,
disappeared from the surface of the earth. No one knows where he is anymore.
mhm,
Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès. I don't know if you've heard of that case. He drugged them all and then unalived them, and like it was like really really huge. I don't know if it was in 2000. I don't know how many years it passed, and there's been sightings of him, and now there's one influencer looking for him, and like he's trying to see if people around the world find him, and it's really interesting because no one knows where he went. Like the last sighting he had, he's waving at the camera, security camera on the hotel when he drove from Nantes to the south of France and
mhm.
he just disappeared at the border, like he just vanished. No one knows where he is, and super
Wow,
interesting case, and a horrible case, obviously. But
horrible, yeah.
what it's interesting is how people are still trying to find him. So I would like to be part of those like researchers doing something like to help because I think there's more eyes now with all the technology we have that we could actually help solve, and some of them have solved crimes. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna do I wanted to do a show on, crimes that have been solved by internet sleuths, where they call them
Mhm.
armchair detectives, there's different names. Um, I would love to, because there's been a few, and there was just recently a big one that got solved, and I can't remember what it was. From this Japanese lady who just like started investigating on her own. It's like a crime that happened over here.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would love to hear that from that. Yeah, I've been
yeah.
watching a lot. I love these cases and like it's super interesting the psychology behind it. Like it's always I've always wondered how they operate. For example, serial killers. It's not that I like serial killers at all, but I don't understand it. So I find super interesting how they operate and how they do the patterns that like how they. I know it's perfection in some things, but the psychology behind it, I really like it. I would love to study psychology, so that's why it's super interesting and criminalistic
Hmm.
psychology. I find that super interesting to solve crimes and to see if there's ways that we can prevent uh, or detect them before they happen, like the early signs or things. So it's what interests me the most. Um, like all of this. So I follow a lot of things, and I've learned that read a lot of psychology books on
Hmm.
psychopathy and like all of these things. It's super interesting, but I don't understand it. And my sister, who's a psychologist, told me like you won't understand it because you're not a psychopath, so you won't be able to understand how they think because you are not one.
Right.
But it's interesting how they like interesting in a way like how the brain you have the same brain, like we are made of the same things, and how they get shaped in that way is I don't know. It's just I don't understand it. And people who don't even come from violent backgrounds or things like that, and they have like a normal life, and how they turn to be something like that. It's I don't
I
know.
do think they are finding more and more that it's not always there's never a it's always an externally learned thing when they were kids, um, meaning from 2 years old to say 12. Something happened. There was an event in there that flipped the switch. They're finding that more and more now. The only way they can learn that is by talking to these guys, right? So they're saying like 60% of like these psychological profile interviews that researchers are having with these serial killers or violent criminals or psychopaths, sociopaths, what have you, that 60% of the time they're not really even telling the truth. So they have to decipher from what's real, what's not. Was he really abused by his dad, at age 6, or
Hmm.
did he accidentally kill an animal and he felt something, and then so he started killing little animals all the time? Um, they just don't know, so it's hard to tell what formed it. But they are saying almost always there was a single event that flipped a switch, and it wasn't like it doesn't necessarily have to be a lifetime of events or like ritualistically abused over and over again, but there's an event, and then the
Yeah,
rest of it could be fine, but there's always an event.
yeah, it's super interesting. Like I always wanted to understand that. Well, I'm fascinated by human like psychology and how cults work. That's why I started like learning about Scientology and like things like that, and how the manipulation tactics sometimes they use to like for group people, like when you see all these politicians like having all this following and just they people can die for them, like how are they doing that, how what's the psychology behind it, and those
Hmm.
phenomena are very interesting from my point of view,
Yeah,
so I like to read that a lot. I diverted,
yeah.
sorry. How do you
No,
say it?
it's
No,
all.
digress, how do you say, I don't know, I just
I
went to the side.
digress.
Digress,
But I
yeah.
digress.
Sam, what are your opinion on the book of, I don't know how to pronounce it, Enoch? Enoch? Enoch?
Sam, what are your opinion on the Book of Enoch? I don't
Enoch.
know enough about it to speak on it. Um, and I wish I did, because I know there's some great things there. So yeah, I don't know but I wish I did. There's so many things I need to read that I haven't read. That stack of books next to your bed that
Hmm.
all the books you want to read that friends have given you or sent you. Mine grows and grows every month. So it's not.
I used to read a lot, but lately, because of work, I haven't been able to do so, and with the kids, it's been complicated. But yeah.
Mhm.
Um. Okay, let me see. There was another comment. Joe Mama says, "Thank you for all for a fabulous life. Have an amazing weekend." Thank you, Joe Mama. There was a question for you. How, well, a question in general. How view the concept of good versus evil?
How
What's your view of
question, how
good
do
versus
you view
evil?
the concept of good versus evil? Um, the concept of it, I mean, it's definitely there. I think spiritual warfare is real. Um, it was hard for me when I first did start to understand that there is a good and evil, or what spiritual warfare is, because I don't want to blame it on, blame it on Satan, or it's the evil forces that are attacking me, the reason why I love heroin, or whatever. The On that aspect, the spiritual, well, I guess spiritual warfare is a lot different than good versus evil. Well, I guess not really, because I guess we are inherently good, and then evil tries to change us. But um, I think it's a war to the end where there's going to be a victor. I mean, I think good always wins, because light consumes darkness. You know what I mean? Like it. Well, no, darkness consumes light. What?
I
But you know what
think
I mean? Light
my
will always show what's in the dark. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also we can learn a lot about the dark. But in my case, it's I think one can exist without the other. But I think it's the intentions and how we decide. Like at least the way that I rule myself because of the weekend like background that I have, it's more of a
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want as long as I don't have a third party or myself. So I have free will, but I have to be very conscious on how I affect others because I am part of a whole, and the way that I act is part of a whole, and everything that I put out there is going to come back to me. So whatever I'm going to be doing, like I can do whichever I want, but if it's going to be something bad, it's going to be come back to me threefold. So I just decide I have the free will to say no, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to get that energy back to me, or I don't
Mhm.
want to have harm others. And I think it's not so much of a fight, it's just they coexist, and in order to find balance in the universe. So
Mhm.
sometimes we have to make, for example, it's not evil, but there's darkness. Sometimes we get angry, we have like we sometimes are very upset, we can hurt someone.
Mhm.
That's the way we respond to that, and the way we manage that is what makes us good or bad. It's just on our choices
Yeah.
in life. So it's a constant cycle, like the yin and the yang. It's a constant
Yeah. Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything is 100% light or anything is 100% dark.
I would agree with
Um,
that.
yeah. Okay. Um, so we're getting to the 2 hours, and I think I don't want to keep you anymore. I see your daughter's there. I also have to go see my kids. But this has been a blast.
It has been a blast, and I'm sure we'll do it again, and
Yes, we
we'll
will.
yeah, this has been so much. Thank you for having me, or however this did. Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I will
Thank
have
you. Well, I was in your channel too, so I'm just hosting this. But yeah, let's do it again. I really had to, like, 2 hours went by really quickly. I thought it was at the hour,
It
and then
did.
it
I
was
was waiting
12.
for another 20 questions. I'm down, but no, that's
Oh,
fine.
I'll prepare more
She is
for the
calling
next
me
show
right
we
now
do together. I like
because
this.
she just goes, Dad, and I was like, so that's
You muted.
oh yeah. Sorry, how long was I muted for?
You
Just for a
said
second.
what, and then you muted.
Oh yeah, yeah. She I said what, and I was like, wait, hold on, honey, and then she just got sad. So yeah,
Yeah,
and you
my
can. She just threw something at me. Do you want to say hi? Can she say hi real quick?
of course.
Come say hi, hurry, hurry, because we want to get done before the 2 hour mark.
Okay.
Nice
Say
to see
hi.
you again. I'm giving you back your daddy now.
She's giving me back. We're gonna have a movie night.
Nice. I'm gonna do the same with my kids. So,
Yep.
what
Daddy, do
movie
you
are you
have water?
watching?
need to eat.
Yeah, I didn't tell her yet, but I got lots of movie candy tonight.
Nice.
I ate almost all of them. There's a lot of them still on my.
Wow.
I
What
want to eat
movie
all
are
of
you
them.
watching?
She'll be
What's
mad at
that?
me.
What movie are you watching?
I don't.
Oh,
To,
the new Lilo and Stitch.
the new Lilo and Stitch.
On the
It's
black box.
amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
Amazing movie. I loved it.
It was just it was a school night for me, so I couldn't go because then I would be really cranky.
Oh yeah, you have to sleep early. But it's Friday now, so you can do that. Nice. Okay, enjoy your movie.
I was expecting to go to the movie theaters, but now I can't. It's over.
Well, you
Okay.
can go to the movies some other day. Maybe when you see How to Train Your Dragon or something like that.
Yeah.
That's coming up soon, I think.
Yeah.
And I think another one that I want to watch really bad is the new Minecraft movie.
Yeah. I think Mom
Oh,
said
that's nice. My kids love Minecraft.
yeah, she loves Minecraft, but I guess it's PG-13 or 14 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
But it's probably
But I'm
fine.
only 6.
well, there's some jokes she probably won't understand. That movie had some jokes that it was
Yeah.
like my daughter was like, "What does that mean?" Nothing. It's just, and the others were laughing. So
Do you guys watch movies in English? Do your kids know English?
my son does. My daughter's learning. So
Cool.
yeah, yeah, I
That's
like them.
cool.
I want them to be bilingual.
Yeah, it's almost it's their opportunities are just amazing for
Wow,
bilingual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okie doke.
Thank you so much, and I hope we can do this soon. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
All right, thank you.
Have a wonderful day, a
Okay,
night,
you
an
too.
evening.
Evening.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, don't beat me up.
Bye, guys. Thank you for being here.
Bye. Don't.